Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the topic leadership behavior styles and also the administration skills. Let us go into the topic. First we have to see the leadership basics. What is the definition of leadership? Leadership is the art and science of motivating, influencing and directing the people to accomplish a mission. Okay, very simple. If you have some followers means then you are a leader, understand? But you have to finish the task. If you are a leader working in a company means you have a task to finish that mission. Okay, so you have to create some followers, okay, behind you such that you will become a leader. Okay, fine. So the fundamental elements of leadership is people and mission. Okay, the first criteria of the leadership is you have to finish that mission. For finishing the mission you are in need of people and they have to follow you such that you will be a great leader. Okay, so leadership is an art and also leadership is a science. Okay, let us move to the next slide. There are three basic leadership behavior styles, and what are they? Authorization or autocratic leadership, and next one participative or democratic leadership, and the last one is delegative or laissez-faire leadership. And these are the three basic leadership styles. Let us see one by one. Clear? Okay. First we are going to see autocratic leadership behavior. Okay, can you see one person standing at the top showing the direction? What he is doing? He knows what to do. Okay, so he is showing the direction, okay, and he is ordering all the people. So except him, everyone has to obey that leader. Okay, so this kind of leadership is called as autocratic. Okay, very simple. I will explain you here. Autocratic means it is nothing but a boss style leadership. A boss, what he will do? No, he will order. He won't do the work. He will just only order. You see this picture, first picture. A leader is there. Okay, he is the first person to initiate the mission, such that other employees also join along with the leader, whereas the boss will show the direction and order and force the employee to do the mission. Okay, so these are the basic difference between the leader and the boss. So autocratic means it is nothing but a boss style leadership. Boss means very simple. He won't do any work. He will just simply order to work, and no one is have the eligibility to raise any questions. No employee should raise any question. Only the boss will order and the others has to obey. That's all. Simple. It's called as boss style leadership, otherwise called as autocratic leadership style. Right. In autocratic management style, what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? Let us see one by one. Okay, first we can see advantages. In autocratic management style, okay, decisions are made quickly. This will be helpful in emergency situations. In a critical time, okay, suddenly we have to take some decisions. So in this time, this autocratic management style will be very, very useful, because in a very short span of time, the leader can able to take decisions, and that decision will be followed by the followers immediately. Okay, yes. The next one is no confusion over who is in charge, because that boss is the one and only in charge, and there will be no confusion among the employees that who is in charge. Okay, fine. Then the direction is clear. The autocratic management leader, he will say, this is my expectation. He will say clearly. And others has to follow it, such that there will be no confusion. Clear? Okay. Then, even though there are some disadvantages, what are they? Causes poor moral and low motivation. Can you see this diagram? Okay, the boss is shouting at the employee and the employee was frustrated. Okay, so it causes a poor moral, and because of the stressful situation he feels low motivation. Okay, and while working, that employee shows lack of trust and lack of motivation, and finally he feels low job satisfaction. Okay, such that he feels very sad to do that work. So these are the advantages and disadvantages in autocratic management style. Right. Shall we go for the next slide? Okay. So in autocratic, there are some pros and cons. The pros are, pros means advantage and disadvantage, the same thing. Okay. The pros are, it will be effective. I mean, this boss kind of behavior will be effective when an action is needed during an emergency. In an emergency situation, this kind of behavior is very, very useful. In the fraction of second, within a second, so many instructions will be done and it will be implemented immediately. Whereas in other style of behaviors, it will take very much long time. So this boss kind of behavior will be very, very useful in emergency situation. Okay, fine. And cons. Cons means very disadvantages. Communication is one way. You see, one way communication means only the boss will order and the employees has to follow that orders without asking any questions. But sometimes the workers may feel some discomfort. Okay, but they don't have any chance to tell the discomfort to that boss. So this is a problem in one-way communication. Because of this problem, the followers will feel stressful. Okay, and finally it becomes unilateral decision making. Got it? Okay. Shall we go for the next slide? Okay. Who is this? He is none other than Hitler. Hitler was an autocratic leader because nobody had a say in what happened and they could not speak against him or they will be killed. If you speak anything against Hitler means that's all, you will be finished. Okay, so if you are a employee under Hitler means you don't have a chance to speak against him. Whatever he say, you have to say yes sir and you have to obey that rule. That's all, very simple. Okay, so in this autocratic leader, there will be only one individual control, not even two. There will be only one individual control. He will control everyone in that company or the whole country. Okay, all right. Then he will provide, the autocratic leader or the Hitler, he will provide the clear expectation for what needs to be done and when it should be done and how it should be done. These instructions will be clearly given by the leader, I mean the boss, such that there will be no confusion among the employees. Clear? Okay. Then there is little, if there is any little time to make some decision means, this kind of boss type behavior will be very, very useful. Okay, but only one thing you have to keep in mind, if you are a boss type behavior means you should have a clear knowledge in that field. Unless and otherwise you can't be a boss behavior. You should have a great knowledge Otherwise, no one will respect you such that you won't become an autocratic or a boss type behavior. Clear? So the best example is Hitler for the boss type behavior, right? And who is this? I think he is a North Korea dictator. His name is Kim Jong-un, I think so. Okay, fine. He is also a boss type behavior. Whatever he says, everyone has to obey. That's all, and no more questions has to be asked. Okay, I think still now there is a dictator is there, means he is the only person, I think so. Shall we go for next one? Okay. In the business world, okay, in the real time business world, is there any autocratic behavior boss is there? Yes, of course. In business world, you know Apple company, okay, the famous cell phone companies, okay, the CEO of, the ex-CEO of Apple company is Mr. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, okay. He is also a best example for autocratic or boss type behavior. So he will set your goals to that company. This is my expectation, and these things has to be done within this limit time. Like that he will set, and within the time, all the employees has to obey. All the employees and the management staff has to obey, and within that duration they have to finish that job. Okay. Fine. Then the decision were made by him. He will set the goals and the methods. Sometimes the team has to work for 90 hours a week. That means approximately 12 hours. Approximately 12 hours the workers has to do the work to finish the work within the deadline. Okay. So in the real time, in the business world, he is the best example. I mean the Steve Jobs for the boss type behavior. Okay, shall I go for the next slide? See, this is next topic, that is called democratic leadership behavior. In this style, you see one manager and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 employees are there. Okay, and among the 6, 3 are raising the hands. Can you notice it? That means what? You see, anyhow the manager has the final authority to how to say, you see, anyhow the manager only will be the final decision maker, but he will ask some ideas among the employees. Okay, you see, the leader has final say. I once again repeat, the leader has final say, but the group members are encouraged to give their ideas. But the group members are encouraged to give their ideas, and finally the manager or the leader will finalize that idea. Okay, so here the creativity is encouraged and it will be rewarded. Suppose any one employee ideas is work out a great, it gives a great profit means, so for that employee the manager will reward something for the creativity. Okay, so the creativity is encouraged and that creativity was rewarded. Okay, in this concept there will be high productivity, strong contribution from the group, and it will give a better moral. High productivity, strong contributions from the group, and it will give a better moral. Okay, fine. Shall we go for next slide? Okay. See, democratic behavior style has another name. It is called as participative behavior style. Simple. Okay, so in participative leadership, what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? Let us see one by one. Okay, the advantages are the people will feel valued. You see, in the previous slide, the employees are encouraged to give the ideas. Okay, so whatever the decision making, their ideas is also there, so that the people will feel valued. Okay, fine. So the people perform well even when the leader is absent. Since the decision was taken by the employee, okay, so even the leader is absent, he will perform well because it is his decision. Okay, fine. Then the people are more committed to achieving the goals and objectives of the organization. So the people itself, the employee itself will be more committed to achieve the goal. Okay, fine. So even though so many advantages are there, there are some disadvantages too in this participative leadership. What are they? Social pressure to conform to group domination. Listen, if a manager is there, then for example some 5 to 6 members are there in a group of employees. Suppose all the employees are saying one thing, means the leader has to obey what the employees are saying, such that there will be a group domination, right? So it is a negative point in this participative behavior. Then the decision making may take lots of time, since the manager has to discuss with all the subordinates, so it will take very long time. Suppose in a critical time, in a very little time, if you want to take a decision, means it is very inefficient in the style of democratic or participative behavior style. Okay, so it is high cost, so it will take too much time, so that it will take high cost, inefficiency will be there, sometimes incompetence also will be there. Okay, fine. Go for next slide. Okay, so who is this? Everyone know about Amazon.com, right? So everyone is purchasing something through Amazon.com, such that in China there will be a #1 trading company is there. It is none other than Alibaba.com. The one and only owner cum CEO is nothing but Jack Ma. Can you see here? Forbes. It's a Forbes is an international famous journal. Okay, so it selects the important person as Jack Ma. So in initial stage, how he was, you know, he failed in college entrance exam thrice, and somehow he struggled to finish that BA English graduation. So after his graduation, he applied for 30 different jobs. He was rejected in all the 30 different jobs, and finally he got to KFC for serving job. Okay, totally 24 persons were applied for the server job. Out of that, 23 was selected. The only one person rejected is none other than this Jack Ma. Okay, but now he used the technique of democratic or participative behavior style in leadership, and now he became the owner of Alibaba.com. It is the largest e-commerce website in the world, and now the net worth of Alibaba is 27.7 billion US dollars. Okay, how much great it is, you see. So he is the first Chinese entrepreneur to appear on the cover of Forbes. The Forbes is a very famous journal. Only the international, very high sensitive people only will be appear on the front page of the Forbes, but he came in Forbes because of his hard work and his leadership style. Listen, so Jack Ma, what he is doing in the company, he maintains fairness and considers opinion from all the board members and employees. Before making a decision, he will ask even the opinion from the employees. That's why he is that much successful. Okay, and in his leadership style, he has very unique personality. That is, he is willing to learn from every source in his life. Okay. Now, who is this? He is none other than Ratan Tata, the one and only person who gave 1,500 crores for the problem of this COVID-19. Okay, he is a pure Indian. Ratan Tata is a democratic leader because the decision comes from the collective minds of the group. What he believes, no, always a good decision will be comes from the collective minds of the people. He believes that good decision won't come from a single person. The good decision will be come from the collective minds of the people. He thinks like that. Okay, fine. What he is saying, offer guidance to group members, but they also participate in the group and allow input from other group members. He encouraged the group members to participate but retain the say final over the decision making process. You see, very simple. He allows the group members, his subordinate, to give the ideas. Finally, he will decide which idea is the best. That's all, simple. Once again, I am saying, he allows the group members to speak, to give all the ideas, and finally Ratan Tata will decide which idea is the best. Then, so for this democratic or participative behavior, Ratan Tata is also a best behavior. Okay, fine. Then, Ratan Tata is not only the CEO of Tata company, he is now also a major shareholder of Jaguar and Land Rover. Okay, you see, so this is the Jaguar car and the Land Rover car. Okay, once upon a time, he is the owner of only Tata companies. That time he started a new branch. It is nothing but Tata Car Company. At that time, he faced a big loss in Tata cars. So finally, he decided to sell the Tata Car Company to the foreign car companies. At that time, in the business collaboration meeting, so many foreign car companies laughed at him. They all laughed at him. You, an Indian, you don't know how to handle a car system, a car manufacturing system, then why the hell you are doing such things? Why the hell you are doing such business in car? Like that, everyone insulted Ratan Tata. And that time he decided not to sell the car company. Once again he take the car company and he bring back that car company into a big business market, and he got the success. For the one more best example for the democratic participative style leadership is Mr. Bill Gates. There is a two-way communication between senior and junior employees. In his company, in Bill Gates' company, there will be a two-way communication between the senior and junior employees. The Bill Gates was a man famous for his democratic management style at Microsoft. You know that he is the #2 world richest man in 2020. Okay, he following the style of democratic or participative style. He has actively involved employees in key management and strategic decisions. The most of the time is devoted to meeting with customers and staying in contact with Microsoft employees around the world via email. So, Bill Gates is the best example for democratic behavior style, right? Also, Obama is also a famous leader for this participatory behavior style. Then the last one is laissez-faire leadership behavior style. What does it means? Can you see the leader who is sitting on the corner and giving no guidance to the employees, and all the other employees are doing their work? That means the group members are expected to solve the problems on their own. Once again, I am saying the group members or the staffs are expected to solve the problems on their own. Majority of the time they won't come and meet the leader. Only if the only very difficult situation only they will come and meet the leader. So such type of freedoms were given to the follower to make such decisions. Okay. So this type of leadership is called as laissez-faire leadership behavior. Then our Gandhiji is the best example for laissez-faire leadership behavior, because he encouraged peaceful protesting and he did not direct the group. They all came together to work towards a common goal. And who is this? He is a Google CEO. He is the #1 CEO in the world, the whole world. Okay. So Sundar Pichai is the best example for laissez-faire style of management. He relies on a strong team of leaders. Do you know what is the specialty of Mr. Sundar Pichai? He is also a great leader. He also created some great leaders behind him. Once again I am saying, Mr. Sundar Pichai is also a great leader. He also created some great leaders under him. So that's the specialty of him. So he relies on a strong team of leaders, hands control over to them, has total trust that they will do what right for the company. He believes in manager, and that manager will do what is good for that company. Okay, right. So how they are successful in this laissez-faire leadership behavior means, while selecting the manager itself, they will select only the talented people. They will select only the highly qualified people, highly skilled people, such that, so this if they select the highly qualified people means, in that company laissez-faire system will be applicable. Okay. You see, using this leadership style, he got in January 16, 2020, he touched the limit of $1 trillion for the Google company. The total turnover in January 16, 2020 is $1 trillion. Because of this higher growth, Mr. Sundar Pichai has the promotion to become the Alphabet CEO. Most of you don't know about Alphabet. Alphabet is the parent company of Google. Google is just a branch of Alphabet, and now the Sundar Pichai is become the Alphabet CEO. So such that now he is the most powerful CEO in the whole world, using the technique laissez-faire leadership behavior style. And there are some advantages and some disadvantages in this laissez-faire management style. The advantages are, it can promote creativity. The staff may feel empowered. And the disadvantages are, more people involved and greater risk of losing control. The staff may feel unguided and lack of motivation. You see, Google is a company, it needs lots of creativity. It needs lots of creativity. So this method, which method? Laissez-faire method, this behavior style is very much useful to improve the creativity of the staffs. Okay, and the main disadvantages is staff sometimes they may feel unguided and they have lack of motivation. Okay, then in this laissez-faire leadership, one great richest man is there. Who is that? His name is nothing but Warren Buffett. He is the #1 investor in the whole world. Among the whole world, most of the share was won by Mr. Warren Buffett. Okay. Once an investment decision is made, he trusts his manager to know how to achieve the performance he expects. Once an investment decision is made, he trusts his manager. He will trust his manager to know how to achieve the performance he expects. So using this style, he became the world's second richest person in 2019. There are some amazing facts about Warren Buffett. Okay, he never used cell phones. Warren Buffett does not carry a cell phone or a computer on his desk. Okay, and he has no driver. Even in this age, his age is around 90, I think so. Even at this age, he has no driver. He will drive the car by his own. And one crazy fact is there. What that fact means? He will write only one letter. He will write only one letter to the CEO. Okay, in that letter, what is that? No? Rule number 1, don't lose the shareholders' money. And rule 2 is, do not forget rule number 1. And comparison style of all behavior styles. You see the first one, authoritative. So the leader will provide a clear expectation. So other has to keep mum and they have to follow that instruction. That's all, simple. And next, in participative, everyone will participate in making a decision. And finally, that leader what says no, that decision has to be followed by everyone. That's all. And last one, laissez-faire or delegative. There will be provide no guidance or there will be provide a little guidance such that other has to take their own decision to fulfill that mission. That's all. Here you see comparison of all styles. Autocratic. If the leader say do X means all the people has to work for X. That's all. Then democratic style. The leader will ask for the subordinates which is the best, X or Y. If everyone say Y means the leader will ask to do Y. Next, laissez-faire style. Okay, the leader won't give any suggestion. The employee itself can decide whether they want to do X or Y. Then last, administrative skills. Administrative skills means you should have a capability of listening and good speaking skills, then good editing skills either in computer or in some other things. You should have a practice of writing notes. Then you should know how to mail to your clients and customers, and you should know how to call your clients and customers or to the boss. You should know how to call. How to call means how to speak with the people. Next, administrative skills. The competencies needed to carry out the purpose and goals of the organization involve planning, organizing work, coordinating work activities, allow leaders to accomplish but critically important aspect of leaderships, divided into 3 specific skill sets. Number 1 is managing the people. managing the resources, and showing technical competence. Then administrative skills means these are the skills, nothing but administrative skills means it is a skill to interact with the human, it is a skill to interact with the technical person, it is a skill to interact with the conceptual. Okay, to interact with the human, you should have some leadership skill, you should have some interpersonal skill, and conflict management skill. Conflict management means each one will give different suggestions. So that time, that conflict you have to manage, and you should have a strong negotiation speaking skills. And administrative skills means you should know how to interact with the technical people, that means with the finance and budgeting people. Then administrative skills, you should know how to interact with the conceptual skills, that is planning and decision, innovative skills, and research oriented skills. In administrative skills, the person should be aware of computer skills. He should be mastery of basic computer skill, then working knowledge of wireless technologies, communications, electronic communications, and voice recognition. All these basic computer skills one should know, then only he will become a good administrator. And he should have some strong interpersonal skills, genuine desire to work with people, initial contact for most patients, ability to set positive tone for entire office, sensitivity to the feelings and situations of others. So thanks for watching by Trinity International School, CBSE. Thank you.